Hey everyone, it's Monday. I do all my adjustments and stuff. I set it all up, beforehand. But my new little tripod thingamajig that I use kind of bounces around. So when I put my phone into it, it shifts it some. So I have to kind of make sure everything's in place when I get started. Yeah. There you go. Alright. Here we go. Okay, so if you tuned in last week, I told y'all about my hair issues. It's not as bad this evening. Also didn't put that much effort into it. I washed it and then ran a straight iron through it. There you go. It is May 14th. May 14th. We are halfway through May. That is so hard to believe. I am moving some lighting around. Yeah, it's so hard to believe we are like halfway through May. It seems like just yesterday it was like January. So there you go. Hope you all had a great weekend. It was all gloomy and rainy here this weekend, so we stayed inside for the most part. We went and ran some errands. We went on Saturday to see Life of the Party with Melissa McCarthy. She can do no wrong in my book. She has me laughing in everything she does. She's just funny. I just love her. And this was a really, really good movie. And we actually kind of doubted it because we looked it up. We went to a little restaurant that we have near the theater, Soup and Such. It's nothing but soup, nothing but salad, but it's really good. And we looked it up, and it was only rated like 4 out of 10, which is not, very good. So we went into it still, hopeful, and we laughed. I mean, it was a really good movie, and we really enjoyed it. It was one of those things that, if you just want to laugh and not think about anything outside of, the theater, it's what you need to go see. So, if you participated in any of the giveaways, guess what? The majority of you should have received them today. I had someone in Florida that should be receiving theirs tomorrow, and another person in Lower Alabama that should receive theirs on Thursday. But the majority of you should have received yours today. If not, let me know. I'd love to see an update, tag Martinis Amanda. Let me know that way, so I know that you got it. So, okay, one more thing before we go on to the martini of the evening. Last night, because, I'm still trying to, and I know every single blogger was in this position. They're learning how to blog as they go. And I've never been that tech savvy, and I'm trying to figure out what all I need to do to kind of, propel all of this forward. And last night I was playing around with Pinterest and found a awesome, an incredible little hack I did not realize you could do with Pinterest. And I do want to do a Facebook Live sharing this, walking you through it. But I want to know what times work best for you. Every Monday night I do the Facebook Live here. Any other times I try not to, schedule it that way, so if people want to join in, they can. So let me know what time works best for you, tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday, what day, what time of the day, and I will do a Facebook Live showing you the cool, awesome, fabulous, I mean, seriously, I got super excited about this little feature that Pinterest has added. So I want to walk you through it that way, so anybody that loves the organization can jump on board and do it for themselves. So let me know what works for you, and we will work on scheduling a time for that Facebook Live. Okay, tonight's martini is the Tiramisu Martini. In all honesty, I did not like tiramisu growing up. I didn't care for coffee flavored stuff growing up. But now that I'm older, guess what? I like coffee flavored stuff. Now, if you just give me plain old coffee, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't like hot coffee, but I do like coffee flavored things. But it has to be a cold drink. So caramel macchiato that's got the espresso in it, yes, that's all me. I'll do it. An iced coffee with a flavoring, I'll do it. Plain coffee, no thanks. Okay, so Tiramisu Martini, you need vanilla vodka, cream de cacao, whatever, Kahlua, and Irish cream. And if you'd like chocolate syrup, I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so with the ingredients, you need 1.5 parts Kahlua, that is your coffee flavoring. And of course, you know, again, with martinis, it's all about, I mean, you can, just because the recipe says, you know, this much, doesn't mean you have to do that much. You can kind of play around with it to get a flavoring that you like. You need 1.5 parts dark creme de cacao. Again, like I said, I don't know how you say that word. Cacao, cocoa. It's C-A-C-A-O. I'm going to say cacao every single time because that's what I do. You need 1.5 parts vanilla vodka. My space is got tons of stuff in it, so I'm a bit more scrunched than usual. 1.5 parts vanilla vodka, and then you need some Irish cream. Now you need 1.5 parts of the other. Now you only need, moving the stuff out of the way, 3/4 part of Irish cream. There you go. Now we're going to give it a good shake. I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way. Where's my towel? Y'all know how I am. I clean as I go. That's what I do. Give it a good shake. But now I'm going to try this. Now, ideally, you would put your chocolate syrup into a like a dish or something, and you would use a spoon to swirl it around the inside of the glass. I am not doing that because I'm not dirtying up another dish. But I am going to see if I can do it this way. It's not working out as pretty. You're going to get your chocolate and swirl it around. And y'all know usually I am a no fuss, no frills kind of person. But this is one of those drinks that I saw and was just like, this needs the, you know, the frills. So, okay, swirl some chocolate syrup up in there. Get you a, you're going to shake your mix up. And you're going to pour it in there. This is your Tiramisu Martini. And it fills it all the way up to the rim. That's awesome. A lot of times, that's what I hate, is when they give you a recipe and it only fills your glass like halfway. I'm trying to move stuff out of the way, y'all, so sorry. Okay, so let's try this sucker. Oh my. That's a dessert martini. This is not one that you make and drink all night. This is not one that you make and drink all night. This is one that if you've got friends over or you've got guests over, you're having a party, whatever, and you do dessert or you do dinner or whatever, you make this and this is their dessert. This is super, super sweet and super, super rich, and it's super, super awesome. Tiramisu Martini for the win. Like I said, 1.5 parts vanilla vodka, cream de cacao, Kahlua, and then 3/4 part Irish cream. And of course, like I said, I'm usually a no fuss, no frills, but I feel like that we had to do the whole, you know, drizzle with chocolate on the inside thing. This is good. This is really good. Holy heavens. That is awesome. Yep. That's one that I'm going to save for later. So that's one of those, if you're having guests over, put that in your book. It's really good. Okay, so tonight we are making a terrarium, which I have a funny story about it. I taught pre-K for 13 years, and I had a terrarium going in my room every single year. We started it at the beginning of the year, and it was one of those things that once you start it up, guess what? You had to do nothing with it to keep it going. But unfortunately, I trusted the people before me that they educated me properly, saying that it was a terrarium. They told me it was a terrarium. For 13 years, I made a terrarium with the children. I had you know those great big plastic barrels that you can get that have like pretzels in them, pickles, whatever. I'd have one of those great big barrels. And we would build our terrarium in it. And in the center I was in, we labeled everything. So I would put a great big label across it, identifying what it was. That way so the children could, you know, look at it, and they were understanding that whenever we said terrarium, that's what that word was. Except I was always writing terrarium. Teacher fail. 13 years, terrarium. It wasn't until I decided to do a Facebook Live for this that I learned that it was a terrarium. Fortunately, I taught pre-K. And they were going to kindergarten, and they would at some point, I'm sure, learn that it was a terrarium, and they would have never thought anything different. But yeah, I have battled this over the past like 2 weeks, going, Amanda, you taught these children it was a terrarium. It's a terrarium. So anyway, here we go. For a terrarium, you need a jar of some sort. It could be a plastic jar of some sort. Just something that you want sitting in your house for an indefinite amount of time. They have these jars at Walmart, like $5.99. Jar like that. It's got a lid. I'm not using the lid for this one, but I will tell you in a little bit how you can use the lid for this. So anyways, a jar. Make sure it's got a good wide opening. You need some pebbles, some small rocks. Yep. You need activated charcoal. I bought, now this is different than the activated charcoal that you would use. I mean, there's so many people that's using it for, you know, their, you know, for face masks, for brushing their teeth. I mean, they're using activated charcoal for tons of, you know, bath and body needs. This is for other uses. This is, I guess, what you would use like in fish tanks. This is what you would use in, you know, recipes outside of what you would put on yourself, or I guess in food or something like that. Yeah, I got it from Amazon. This whole bucket for like $5.99. If you go into your like local health and food store, you're gonna see a bucket or a jar that's like this small, and it's gonna cost like 13, 14 bucks. Amazon. Then you need some soil. Not just any soil. You need the stuff that is specifically made for cactus or succulents. It's dense. It's got sand mixed in with it. It's, you know, more porous. I'm horrible with word. As much as I love words and as much as I love word games, I am horrible with pronunciation of words. It's got more sand in it. You know, that way so it makes more air pockets. That way so it can dry out more easily. Drainage is better. So yeah, that's what you need. And then of course,
some succulents, some plants of your kind. This one, I got both of these at Walmart because surprisingly, ones at Walmart looked a whole lot better than the ones at Lowe's and Home Depot. This is a baby jade plant, and this one is it says it's a rainbow mix. Okay, anyway though, I got some succulents. Okay, so what you're going to do first and foremost is you are going to, this is probably going to get loud. I'm trying to think of how I can do this where it's not loud. It's probably going to get loud. You are going to put pebbles in the bottom. The biggest thing to know about these is that you need to have proper drainage. The last thing you want, think about a cactus in the desert. They love dry weather. They don't need lots of water. So if you give them too much water, they're going to die. So you want to make sure that you give them a good amount of space underneath them so they can drain. That way so their roots aren't sitting in the water. Then you're going to put this activated charcoal. And I'm not going to lie, last night my dear wonderful husband was helping me set up, and he wanted to know what this was, and he opened it up and he barely jiggled it and black dust went everywhere. I had black crap all over my floors and stuff. So there's no telling what's going to happen here. Activated charcoal. You're going to put activated charcoal in this because you're going to put a layer of it in there because the activated charcoal is going to help balance the moisture of the soil. It's going to help the roots that way so they don't hold on to the moisture. And it's going to help maintain the soil quality. Now, optional, I chose not to go this route. I don't know why I chose not to. I don't know. Either way though, if you like the next layer, now again, like I said, I am not a wordsmith. I am horrible with words. Was it sphagnum moss? Sphagnum moss? I hope that's it. Either way though, you could put a layer of sphagnum moss next. Also helps with drainage, and it helps prevent the root rot that eventually kills plants. All right, so we've got our pebbles, we've got our activated charcoal. If you want, you can put the sphagnum moss, and then, like I said, the special soil for cactuses, succulents, whatever. Yep. One of the things I did think about when I was buying this stuff is that every single time I go shopping for planting stuff, typically I need a whole lot less than what they're selling in the store. This great big bag, I don't need this. I mean, I've already got too much in this thing. I don't need this great big bag. If they sold half this bag, I would have been thrilled. Now, it's not like the price was, bad or anything. I mean, it was like less than $5 for a bag of soil. I'm not complaining about the price. It's just, I don't need that much. What am I going to do with that now that I've, pulled that out? So I wish that they, sold half of those bags. There you go. All right, so you're going to put your soil in there like that. And then, of course, you are going to make a couple of little pits, whatever, for your succulents. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of upset with myself because I have a plastic bag over here and some tape I had meant to put down kind of like a drop cloth type thing. That way so I wouldn't get soil all over my table on my floor. But it happened, so I'm already here. Okay, so then you're going to, of course, take out your succulents.
break up the roots some. Okay, now I've already failed. First of all, because one piece has fallen off, and because I have built this too high for my dear little plant. I misgauged it. So obviously, if you do anything I say, make sure you make sure it's deep enough. And I'm gonna get this last one because I'm a minute doing it. Yep, break up the soil some, stick it in there. But what's nice about this is if you do not plan to use the lid, then it doesn't matter. This means that it will grow out of the plant. Yep, and I am doing exactly what I did not want to do. I am getting soil all over my table. Miss clean. Now, this is what's funny is I am a clean freak, yet I worked with children for 13 years. All right, so anyway, there you go. That's the gist of it. Now, let me tell you something. The majority of my terrariums that I planted in my classroom, I did not use succulents. In fact, to be truthful, we had a teacher at the center that was so much into gardening. I mean, she was like the gardening queen. I've never known anyone that knew more about plants than she did. We went on a field trip to the botanical gardens once, and she was the one that as we went through the botanical gardens, she would walk up to a plant and she would pinch off just a tiny, tiny little snippet of a plant. And she would just drop it in her purse, and that was it. We'd get back to the center that afternoon, evening, and she would fill up a jar of water and she would drop that snippet in the water. And then the next day she'd come in and she would actually, you know, fill up her whatever container of soil, and she would take that snippet, she would put it in the soil, and guess what? This thing flourished into this massive plant. So that's where I'm going with that, is that if you'd like, this is done with the succulents. Every couple of weeks, take you a spray bottle with some water. They don't require much water at all. All you're going to do is, you know, just, of course, I didn't check this beforehand. All you're going to do is, I mean, just spray in a tiny bit of water. Tiny bit of water. Every couple of weeks. They don't need much water at all. Just make sure it gets in the soil. You're only going to water when the soil is completely dry. And then you'll notice that they completely flourish with that alone. So I guess about a tablespoon of water every 3-4 weeks or so. Yep. Now, if you do find that awesome plant that will grow from, you know, a snippet of it, put it in there. Of course, you'll want it, of course, to be lower. These are sitting up like right here. If you do a little snippet of the plant, you'll want it to hit like right here. And then put your soil, the little snippet of the plant in there. There are a couple of spritzes of water. And then this is when you add your lid. The lid will actually contain all that moisture and allow that plant to keep growing and growing and growing. And guess what? You don't even have to worry about watering it, because that condensation just keeps on, you know, replenishing it. That's what's so awesome about it. Like I said, at the beginning of every year, we would take a little snippet of a plant, we would drop it in one of those great big pretzel buckets, pretzel barrels or whatever, with the soil. We would drop that little snippet of a plant in there. We would put a tiny bit of water. We'd screw on the lid, and I wouldn't touch it for a year. At the end of the year, you could look at that barrel and it would be just full of whatever vine, plant, whatever it was. So ideal. But again, there you go. We're done. Like I said, every 3 weeks, 3.5, 4 weeks, check and see if the soil is completely dry. I mean, if you don't know, stick your finger all the way in. Again, succulents are part of the cactus family. They do not require much water at all, so they can go a long time without it. So just make sure you are not overwatering them, because you will kill them. I do not have, I would say my phone is, my finger is like a dark green. I don't have a green thumb. I don't have a black thumb, but I'm probably about 75% at being able to plant things, and it worked well for me. So, but a terrarium in the classroom, I had it every single year. I did it. So this one, we'll see what happens. There you go. Yep. Like I said, this is a $6 jar. The succulents bought at Walmart, one was, I want to say, like $3, one was like $4. Like I said, if you are crafty or sneaky, you can walk through Lowe's or Home Depot and snip off a little tiny piece of a vine of some kind and make your own. But don't do that. I didn't tell you to do that. So there you go. So like I said, quick and simple house plant you can do. You can keep up with. If it's National like Gardening Month or something like that. I can't remember why I chose to do it. Right now I did. There was some reason why I chose to do it. But I think it's because, you know, it's spring and everybody's out, you know, doing their thing, gardening. That's probably it. Either way, though. Yeah. Alright, with all that being said, let's move on to next week. Next week doesn't seem right, but it is National Salad Month. And guess what? With all these recalls against romaine lettuce, recently in the news I saw eggs were being recalled for salmonella. A couple days ago, beef was being recalled. So guess what? Don't eat a salad. It's bad for you. So instead of doing like a nice healthy green salad for National Salad Month, we're going to do a dessert salad. This is one of my favorites. Super quick and simple. It's one of those you dump everything into one bowl, you're done, and it's perfect for picnics, barbecues, potlucks, whatever. And we're also going to do the Martini. Martini Martini. Yep. So, with all that being said, we are going, oh, well, no, not we. I welcome your ideas. I would love your help on Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Go and like them, share them, get your people to like the pages. I would appreciate it greatly. I'm having problems with words this evening, y'all. It happens. But I welcome your ideas. Send me your feedback. Let me know what you want to see, what you think I should change. Give me your ideas, whatever. I could use all the help I could get. So, with all that being said, next Monday night, a dessert salad we're making, and the Martini. So until then, I'll see y'all next Monday. Bye.